Hello, 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 hello. How are we all doing there, boys and girls? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's hope things work properly today. They better do. Oh, there's a random ZYGOR arrow in the middle of the screen. Shoo. It will go away. I was playing around with some stuff. Some of you guys, if you are early enough to the stream today, you might be able to jump into the channel point redeems and see some new stuff knocking about. Some new old stuff, revitalized, sort of, maybe. I've not finished setting all of this up, but it's more important. Oh, well, there we go. We can see that it works. I'm trying to do some clever stuff. I'm trying to do some more fancy stuff. The cam filters are back, partly 50% back. They're only just back because I had to reset them all up again. And I remember, actually, Womanthius is missing. Yeah, Womanthius is missing because I can't find the filter for it. I can't actually find the filter. I need to find an equivalent filter that's sort of there, but that sort of does the same but nothing. I'll tell you what, these flipping caps on top of bottles being attached to the bottle drives me bananas. But how are you all doing, boys and girls? Good morning, welcome in, hope we're good. Later on today, I suspect we might be playing some Last Epoch. I don't know exactly what the situation is with servers and stuff like that. I have bought Last Epoch, it's installed, it's ready to roll. Yeah, I have not logged in, tested it. I don't know if there's like, I'm assuming it's an online only thing. These games usually are nowadays. It doesn't bother me too much. We have pretty solid internet, but let's get a few bits and pieces up and running. There should, actually, as some of you guys are here this morning, I can show you some of the behind the scenes workings of this. I have to set up the reason these filters, by the way, didn't last very long last time is because they use a huge amount of my system resources to run them in the background. My camera is going through about 4 different pieces of software before OBS gets it and you see it, which is huge amounts of processing. Luckily, I've got a much stronger PC nowadays than I used to do, but the reality is that I'm very tempted to offload all of this processing somehow to my other PC and then somehow get it back into OBS. I've not figured that out. That would be much more clever of me, but I haven't figured it out yet. There's I did figure out yesterday. I'll show you some behind the scenes for the early birds here, right? I have found some behind the scenes. I've got Snap Camera working again. Yeah, I have. Got Snap Camera working again. This is where all of the filters come in. So this is your cowboy hat filter, right? There's a few other ones I found that are kind of quite cool. The Twitch cap one I actually quite like. It's quite funny. It would be better if it was gold, then we could have the gold cap on. Put your gold cap on. But a Twitch cap works all the same. You can search through these, so you could like search for ones with different caps. RuneScape cap, trap caps. Could we just search for gold cap? Not really by the looks of things. Half of these don't really do much or work particularly. You can see in the preview window here, this is what my camera actually sees before it gets all the way to you guys. Most of them are absolutely trash and don't work. This is the problem, because this isn't really a particularly well-supported system anymore. Clearly lots of different types of caps. A yellow one would do the job, really, wouldn't it? a yellow one would do the job. I don't know. Well, there is probably like... Right, okay. Some of them are just weird and wacky. And some of them don't really work the way you'd expect them to. Oh, a wild wife appears. Hang on. Let me just quickly say hi to the wife. Hi, and more importantly, bye. Chat says hi, by the way. Yes, the wife walking in while I'm doing weird things on camera. To be honest, that's what she thinks I do for a living, so it's all fine. It's all fine. What I should do is get the coffee, though. We need the coffee. Right. Yeah, that was me putting it to my AFK screen as well, and then I suddenly realised there's a second feed of me. It's smack bang in the middle of the middle of the screen. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of different funny filters and stuff we can do with this. I'll try and make some of these as the channel point redeems. A sneak peek for you guys to begin with, but there's a few options I found that are quite cool. I can attach a crab to my nose because why not? Why not attach a crab? I know I'm spoiling some of the fun here a little bit, but I'm just trying to showcase you what goes on behind the scenes to set this sort of stuff up. I can be a cow. Manthis can be a cow. Some of it works better than others, but I've had to relearn a whole bunch of integrations, API calls, all sorts of weird and wacky stuff to try and get this to work. So, but my camera, from my camera, it goes into a separate piece of software that allows me to access it in multiple programs at once. No, that's a lie. My camera goes into OBS. OBS then puts it into this piece of software as a virtual camera that can get split out to multiple different applications. I then have it going over to Snap Filter to do the filters. Then once Snap Filter has done its thing, it goes over to NVIDIA to do all the green screen. Then it comes back to OBS and you see it. So all of this is like monstrous amounts of processing power just going on 24/7. So this is why the filters didn't stay around very long last time, because they were causing performance issues on my PC. I have two PCs though, so I have the horsepower. I just kind of need to somehow engage brain and work out how to like share the load properly. And once I've got it all figured out, we can do some fancy stuff with it. I've also got a little piece of software that allows me to do some incredibly clever things. I just haven't worked it out yet. This also means Stanley. Stanley might be back before too long as well, because I can get Stanley integrated all of this as well. Yeah, it would be good to get Stanley back. I enjoyed Stanley. asking Stanley questions. More importantly, Stanley was incredible for sellout. Like, I'm terrible at sellout. Stanley was an absolute god at it. Man, through buying an AI GPU when? Well, hopefully not. Hopefully it won't come to that. I think we need to level up a little bit before we get to those degrees. But let's get some auctions listed all the same. So yeah, I'm slowly figuring out how to integrate it all and how to do some funny stuff and to try and make it a little bit more interesting and interactive. And as like I said, I'm somewhat reluctant to do stuff that directly affects the game that we're playing, because we play a bunch of different games nowadays. It's not always possible. And nor am I getting down and doing push-ups. I want to be more creative than that. But we'll see. We're on the mage at the moment just because I need to do some selling of some stuff. Or maybe relisting of some stuff to be more precise. We sold some stuff yesterday, apparently. Another 4 gold of stuff for doing nothing. Have you heard about these things that some streamers do called push-ups? I've heard of them. Isn't it one of the things that people go to the Gaim for? They go to the Gaim and they do some push-ups. Redeem entire workouts. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, chat from YouTube, by the way, I do see it and I do read it. It just isn't going to pop up on stream or anywhere else other than in YouTube chat. Kind of much like Twitch chat only lives in Twitch chat world. That will probably be the same. AFK screens and stuff, maybe. I'll figure it so that they all show properly, but that's yet even more software that runs on my computer at the same time as streaming. So this is, like I said, I'm starting to slowly understand why some people go the route of having a stream PC and a gaming PC. Because a stream PC, eventually, when you start putting some production value to stuff, you end up with so many little bits of software doing little bits of things that you kind of don't want all running when you're trying to play a game and maximizing FPS in a game. Both my CPU and my graphics card are about 20-25% load just running the stream, which of course means I only have 80% load for the actual gameplay side of things, which, you know, in gamer terms, those numbers are just not goddamn high enough. What I might be able to do though actually today is, I don't know how far I ever got with tailoring. I did get up to 140 with tailoring back in the day. We could look at leveling tailoring up a little bit more today. Get a Starforge sponsor. I could tap Zach up for a free PC, maybe. No, I don't think that's going to happen. It's not even really the horsepower thing that's the problem. It's the figuring out how it all interconnects together. Like I said, I've got 2 PCs. My old PC is still plenty powerful enough to run the stream stuff. And my new PC is plenty powerful enough to run video games. I just need to, you know, do the magic, make them all work together. I made a whole. I should also warn people today: if the stream randomly dies, it's because I was making some network changes yesterday. I had 2. I basically have one network for the entire property, but of course there's 2 buildings on the property. There's the main house and there's my studio, which is a separate building above a garage, which meant I had a subnet for this area. So its own Wi-Fi, its own router, it's all that sort of stuff. But it shared the internet connection between the 2 houses, and it caused problems with things like Plex, because my server is over here. The wife wants to watch Plex over in the main house, and it was causing problems because Plex didn't think it was all part of the same network, and it was doing stupid stuff. So I had to do server changes yesterday, network changes, which means if my router craps out on me today, and the stream dies, there's your pre-warning. I like to think I'm at least this technical when it comes to this sort of stuff, but it doesn't always work. It takes a bit of trial and error. Somehow a whole piece of chat blacked out on me. I think people were using personal banned words. No, that was probably me. That was probably me doing some testing a while ago. I did delete the entire chat panel because I was doing some testing. I didn't need all of my testing stuff going on. I just deleted it all. Did you set up a VLAN? Well, I thought about doing that, but it doesn't make much sense to me considering it is technically all physically Etherneted. My network's all connected, right? So I didn't want to use VLAN because it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense pinging it out and then bringing it back in again. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess, but now it's less messy. But it does mean it might fall over and die on me because I haven't properly tested it, nor have I even reset everything, which is literally the biggest mistake with networking. If something doesn't work with networking, turn it off and turn it on again, and it usually works. Got the Mango Loco? We do. That's being saved for a little bit of epoch later. I think last epoch. That's my plan. I'm tempted to mess around with tailoring a little bit. Obviously on this character I have a little bit of gold to do it with. We mostly finished leveling up tailoring. Leatherworking. This character is also has enchanting, not at any great high super duper mega levels, but it has it all the same. One of the reasons I kind of wanted enchanting on this character rather than on my main is because I have the suspicion that tailoring might have a nice little cheeky shuffle, or it often does at least. Yeah, I'll be honest. I know I've suggested them the other day, but I personally have a strong dislike for VLANs. They often create far more problems than they solve. Yeah, I'm not that level of tech to really fundamentally understand the difference, but I know one thing, and that's that I like to make sure there's a cable between everything. I'm old school in that way. Sure, you can do shit by Wi-Fi. You can ping things out of one router and pull it back in from another router via the internet and shit. And I'm like, well, I can do that, but I'd just rather not. I'd much rather have a cable between everything. So I made strong efforts that when we bought the house to make sure that it was all ready with Ethernet, Cat 6 everywhere. It now just requires me to plug all the right boxes and cables in the right holes. That's pretty much it for me. As far as security goes, it's kind of hard to beat an air gap. Yeah, see, this is it. As far as I'm concerned, I can have a dead switch, it turns the whole network off, poof, which I actually think is kind of quite smart for me to implement, being, having, if I get hacked or something, I go, boop, disconnect from the outside world entirely, and everything inside will still work. But we'll see. I might request the smartness from some of you guys at some point to do this better. But anyway, let's take a little bit of a looky at maybe getting tailoring up and running. I feel as if I'm shouting because we've got tunes on in the background, so maybe we'll turn the tunes right down low. Team YouTube doesn't hear the tunes anyway. Should we probably look at getting... Oh, my ZYGOR's upside down on this character. Why is my ZYGOR upside down? I think I did that for a reason once upon a time. It's actually quite a smart reason thinking about it, isn't it? Because then it just grows upwards and doesn't get in the way of the DPS meters at any point. We could do enchanting a little bit more. I think getting tailoring up and running is probably better. Professions, tailoring 1 to 300 guide, go gadget go. Click here to collect materials as you level. reach level 26. Okay, we can't really do much more until we reach level 26. Okay. Well, I guess that means we need to hit level 26 then, doesn't it? That's maybe not as easy as it first sounds. Where did I get to with this? We're over in Duskwood. Are we going to have... Oh, I don't really want to have to do leveling. I didn't really plan on having to do leveling. If I'm going to do leveling, I want to do it with my Paladin, because he's still only like level 8. What time's the last Epoch launch? 5 p.m. GMT is what I'm led to believe, which would be 7 p.m. for me, which might tie in quite nicely to doing an evening stream. But I'm not entirely sure. Just don't buy shit that requires a connection to the cloud. Why the hell does my dishwasher need to talk to the internet? My washer's on Wi-Fi. Thought it was a stupid idea at first, but it's kind of nice to get a notification on the phone when it's done. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? Like, there are some things where you don't need smart toasters and kettles and all of this sort of rubbish particularly. That said, I'm a big fan of Philips Hue. I love me some smart light bulbs, you know. I'm a big fan of those things. They're goddamn ridiculous level expensive, though, mind. But I am a bit of a fan. Has to be said. If we're going to get to level 26 on the old Major Rooney, I need to remember how the hell to play a mage. What spec am I even in? I was in Arcane spec, but that was because we were kind of mostly spec'd into doing AoE business. Single target leveling spec is probably Frost still, right? Philips has sold the Hue brand. Have they really? What's it now then? I'm sure... Okay. Does that mean it won't be so locked down? Does that mean it's going to be a little bit more broadly open to... You're not strictly going to be so restricted to buying Philips's $30 a piece light bulbs? Zone into stockades and AFK with a boost. Give me a shout. I can run through all the elite quests in Duskwood. I only need to get to level 26. So, I mean, if there's somebody that wants to do a couple of stockades runs and just blast me to 26, that wouldn't go amiss. Alternatively, I need to respec into something that's going to work better for leveling. I don't know what phase 2... See, I think mage leveling is going to then sort of sway more into old school leveling again now, isn't it? Because you're going to go Frost, you're going to go Blizzard AoE business. I don't know. Let's just press buttons for a minute and go and do some stuff. I've got some stuff in my bags. We'll just figure this out. We'll follow ZYGOR. ZYGOR knows what's going on. That's the point of having ZYGOR about. It means I don't have to look clever. It looks clever for me. We need some gooey spider legs, apparently. We'll get level 26 nice and quick. It'll be fine. If it's just a regular kettle, you've got to fill it up anyway. Yeah, I haven't done this yet, but I want one of those taps where it's just got a boiling water function. One of those faucets where you know there's just you have hot water, cold water, but then you have boiling water. I want one of those. I would like one of those, so it just comes out your tap, just at boiling hot levels. I think that's very clever. I don't know why we're boiling water in kettles like old people. What's going on there anyway? You've been able to connect other Zigbee lights to the Hue bridge for quite a while. You can even buy the IKEA ones for pretty cheap. Oh, they'll all sync in and work together, will they? Okay, that's quite clever. I must admit, I'm in IKEA significantly more often than I would like to admit. I buy regular light bulbs from IKEA, but Then I have a bunch of Philips Hue ones dotted around the house as well. I've yet to put any in here though, because I've got lots of spotlights in here. The GU10 lights. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lights just in this one room. Which if I was to Philips Hueify it would bankrupt me very quickly, which is why I haven't. Even though I think it'd be very cool. I could put the LED ones in and we could do fancy things, like one of the stream rewards could be like to set off a disco. You know, when we ding, set a disco, I can press a button on my stream deck and all the lights go crazy. Install a strobe light or something. We could do some stupid shit. That's kind of the point of me setting up in the studio area, is that I can do stupid shit here. I just need the time, effort, resources, and more importantly, money to do it all. You can get an RGB toilet light that clips onto the bowl. Oh my god. I'm not sure I want to go that far. I'm not sure that's quite my jam. But that's funny. What's this Quokka thing? The tap that does it all. Yeah, I think we need some of this in my life. With a Quokka, sounds like a duck's lady bits. You can get instant 100-degree boiling water, filtered, chilled, and sparkling water, and regular hot and cold, all from the same tap. Book a virtual appointment with our team to see the full collection. No. I just want to buy the tap and install it. I don't need a virtual appointment to buy a tap. Flex. Hot, cold, and boiling water, one tap. Flexible pull-out hose for the extra reach. Available in 5 different finishes. Oh, Nordic style. I can go in Nordic style. All-in-one mixer tap and the Quokka tap. This is dog shit level branding, by the way. If your brand name is something that is borderline unpronounceable without some prior knowledge of how it's said, that's just bad branding. Those are not legal in Sweden, only for in restaurants. I mean, the police ain't going to spend too much time in your house, though, are they really? I want to know, how do they work, though? How do they actually work? How do they give you the boiling water? Because it must have some extra... 1,200 bucks! Sheesh. Ah, there we go. There's boiling water tanks then. Provides 3 litres of instant boiling water. Provides 7 litres of boiling water. Provides 7 litres of instant boiling water or 15 litres of hot water. Chilled water tank. When you purchase a cube... So all of this just lives under your sink, right? Cold water filled to scale control power. Oh my god, there's more to this than I thought. Soap dispenser? This is such a boomer thing to be excited about. Maybe I do need the virtual appointment. Maybe I do. I'm more interested in the science. I more want to know how the flipping hell they do it. Show me, like... Getting chilled water straight, like proper chilled water. Chilled filtered water would be really cool. Alright, distractions, squirrels. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. If the police are in my house long enough to be making themselves tea, being in trouble for having a boiling water tap is probably the least of your concerns. Exactly. You've probably committed way more sins at that point. Let's see if I can remember how the hell I press buttons here. Oh, yeah, that's it, isn't it? We just absolutely nuke the shit out of things. Yeah, okay, it's one button mage leveling. That's where we're at then. It's one button. We just nuke shit. Okay, right. I got it. Didn't we need gooey spider legs? Right, let's kill these spiders then and get some more of these gooey spider legs. This is something that I've probably accidentally sold at some point and I shouldn't have done. It's just an insulated boiler under the sink that keeps it at a high temperature. Is that what it is? It doesn't like do any magic like filtering through, because there's those instant hot water things, isn't there? It only drips out, but it just boils the water as it goes through some hot pipes or something. If you put a small amount of water through it, I think you can get instant boiling water pretty quickly. Probably use shitloads of electricity doing it, mind, but virgin pure one is then separate from the sink. Might be a thing in the UK with their 100 amps, likely not in Finland. I mean, I know an electrician. I can fix that. I've got I have a family electrician friend who can make all of that happen. Is that literally all I'm doing on this mage? We're just arcane blasting until things are dead. I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? If things get too close, you run away. Boom. And then stuff's just dead. As long as there's enough downtime for arcane blast to reset its mana cost between killing things, and we don't pull too many things, we should be fine, right? IKEA GU 10 whites are like $10 a piece, coloured are 18. Oh, is that for the smart ones? If that's the price for the smart ones, that's not too bad, you know, because I wouldn't want all of them to be coloured. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of the coloured LED lights anyway. But I am a fan of the white ones. Since there's many times, me and the wife have constant disagreements, right? Constant disagreements about the brightness and the color tone. So the reason I like the Philips Hue stuff is because then when I'm in the room, I can have it set exactly how I want it. And when she's in the room, she can have it set however she wants it. And both of us are happy. Right, I definitely need to work this out because we're not even killing one thing at a time here. No, hang on. One of you. I've 100% forgotten how the hell I'm playing a mage. I'm a fan of LifeX, much cheaper than the Hue, and brighter too. Well, the problem is with Hue is that people tend to only buy them when they're on offer, and the ones that are on offer are usually the low lumen ones. They do some very bright lights. You've just got to be careful which bulbs you buy. Chris, how we doing? Hello, welcome, welcome. Good morning, by the way. Didn't Electro Boom do one of those? It was just a bare wire in the water stream that heated the water. I don't know, maybe. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the level of ridiculousness on this. There was a project for that where people injected some NFC RFID chips so that the sensor in each room could detect actually who walked into the room. See, that's quite clever. That's really quite clever. That is quite clever. I would approve. Because, like I said, it is a constant argument. Because I always want everything much brighter. The wife wants ambiance. And I'm not one for ambiance. I want to see shit, right? I wear these things for a reason, right? The last thing I want to be doing is running around in the pissing dark. And so it's a constant argument between us about the lights. I should probably only be pressing that button when we get a clear cast, shouldn't we? Drop a slow on them first. Blast it a couple of times. If it's not dead, freeze it. This is not great single target, honestly. This is a bit risque single target. I'm not so much of a fan of the cast time either, if I'm honest. How are we doing this better? Let's look at what we've got abilities-wise. I'm not using regeneration anywhere near, so I should be putting that on myself, shouldn't I? I should be stacking that on myself so then we can't lose. I've, as you can tell, I've not played this for a while on the mage. So, I'm trying to remember what's going on. Yeah, that should in essence mean that we don't die. We just need to make sure we don't oom ourselves at every pull. Okay. Auto recognition who's in the room currently. I'm sure it wouldn't be too difficult to do. I'm sure some little sensor would figure that shit out real fast. How are we going to circumvent constantly going oom? Because I can only press that button once every 8 minutes. I haven't made myself any water yet, nor have I made myself any food yet, which is also a problem. What kind of classic mage are you? Yeah, clearly not a good one. Oh yeah, I've not been wanding either. That's another thing we should be doing. Yeah, I'm desperately trying to just remember how the game works. It's my honest approach to this. I should probably pop a regen on myself. I should have done that before we started. Can I just wand his ass to death? Okay, we wand when we go in Oom. Okay, I think I remember. I think it's coming back to me. I don't know why I need these gooey spider legs. I am putting a lot of trust in ZYGOR here. I should realistically have gone back and started the guide from the beginning, because there's probably been updates made to it since... Whoa, 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 whoa. Son bitch. Where do these keep coming from? Aren't they cheaper to buy on the auction house, the spider? They probably are, but this is just a good opportunity for remember how the hell to play the mage at the same time, so I don't actually mind too much. I'd have to do this remembering how to play the goddamn game bit again anyway. I might as well do it whilst also doing something useful. In a zone that probably shouldn't kill me. I'd want to know why the spider's legs are gooey. That's a good point, you know. Spider's legs don't scream gooey. Their ass is gooey. There's no denying that. That fucking great big hooning thing on the back of a spider, that's definitely gooey. Legs, not so much, though. I think legs are more likely to be... Legs don't scream goo to me. Capture their prey. Yeah. But that's like that's the web they do. That's the silk that's meant to be. Not so much the not so much the actual leg, but I guess it doesn't really matter. When they're near us, we either freeze them and then wand them to death. How you doing, Pagby? Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Hope we are well. Hope we're all good. Used to stand in Stormwind just selling conjured food and water. It's probably the best way to do it, honestly, now. Selling food, selling water, selling portals. That's standard mage business right there. I'm not entirely sure how I want to level this mage, or if I'm actually even going to bother. I'm only honestly getting to 26 just because I want to get the professions in order, but the likelihood is I'll need to get to level 41 at the bare minimum for next phase anyway. So we'll see what happens. We're going to be pretty busy in the next few days and weeks, I think, with last epoch, and then we might have a little bit of a play with hardcore solo self-found, because I think that could be quite amusing. dangerous AF, but amusing. Oh, go on, fellas. Thanks. Come back here, spider. Yeah, the fact that people eat tarantulas always makes me feel weird as well. I know in some parts of the world they literally just eat anything. They're just brutal. But, like, it doesn't feel right to me. Something about it doesn't feel right. I think we've had this discussion before, though. When you think about it, eating eggs is a bit fucking weird as well, realistically, but it's just so normalised. Ah, yes, this thing a chicken shat out. Ah, yes, we're going to cook this in 25 different ways, and it's going to be considered a delicacy. And nobody questions it. But the reality is it's very strange. Where's this last goddamn spider leg? Whoa, hello. Let's watch out the way you. Where? You're not messing about either, are you? Man on a mission. There we go, gooey spider leg, right. Now we're on ghoul fangs. This quest was a flipping nightmare at the beginning of the patch, but by now the zone should be pretty chill. It's put me in layer 1 though, which is interesting. I didn't expect to be in layer 1. This warlock's gone to town over here. Okay. We do need a better solution than this. Forgetting to reserve enough mana to self-heal is also a terrible idea. Oi! Dead. Okay. This is always going to happen. Right, shots, everybody. 10 to 12. Shots o'clock. Oh, that's what we need. That's the filter we need. We need a dead filter. We need like a zombie filter. Can we find a zombie filter? Where's snap camera when we need it? Zombie or dead? For when I die in the game. Deadpool. Doesn't work. That's Day of the Dead, not quite the same. Ha! Okay, that's actually quite cool. We're dead. That's the dead filter. The green screen tech is having problems with me being dead, but we'll favourite that in case that's the one we go with. Rip Manthius. Lots of Deadpool ones. Searching for zombies probably a better idea. Okay. Let's try zombie. Gotta be zombie ones, right? Surely. Half of them don't work. Half of them don't work. Okay. Sure. Oh, that's very zombie-ish. That's definitely a dead face. I actually kind of like that skeleton one most so far, you know. A lot of them will look much different on a regular camera, but by the time it gets green screened, okay, now I'm a zombie. That's actually quite cool. That one's quite cool for dead. When we die in game. Okay, we'll have that one. Shall I show you guys how I actually make these channel point redeems? Should we do a full behind the scenes of how this works? And while we do it, we'll leave that up and running. So the first thing I need to do is I need to assign it a keybind in Snap Camera. So where's the... Let's get rid of that one. We need to assign this a filter. Let's give it a hotkey of, I don't know, Alt-Shift F1 or something. Hopefully something that's not used by someone else. Unable to assign a conflicting key, of course. Alt-Shift F2. Okay, Alt-Shift F2 is being used somewhere else. Alt-Shift F3 is also being used. Alt-Shift 1. Okay, Alt-Shift 1 seems to be good. Oh, I've got a pink hat on all of a sudden. Alt F4 is available. Yeah. Alt-Shift 1. So Alt-Shift 1 is what we want. Then I load up this program where I have a few presets set up already. No, first we go into Twitch, actually. First we go into Twitch dashboard and we set the channel point redeem up. Channel points, manage rewards and challenges, add new custom reward, dead, zombie, cam filter. We give it a cost. I'll figure out the costs for these. And we give it, and we save it. Make sure it's up and running. So then we have a channel point redeem. Don't redeem it yet, by the way. Don't redeem it yet. What we then do is we open up this, and I go, right, we go edit the settings of this. No, edit triggers, load from Twitch API. I pull in the dead zombie cam filter, and we save that. Then we edit what it actually does, which is simulate keyboard presses. What did I set the keybind to be? I can't remember. Alt-Shift 1. So we go number 1, Alt and Shift. Alt Shift 1. I should probably use numpad 1s for these actually, but I don't have a numpad on my keyboard, which makes setting it up a bit difficult. Basically what it does is it presses the button once to turn the filter on, and then after a few seconds presses the button again to turn the filter off. We save that. And that, in theory, now should mean that it just works. So, here's the opportunity, boys and girls. Somebody test out the zombie filter thing now and see if it just works. You guys should be able to redeem it, and it should just automatically happen without me pressing anything. Boom! There we go. It turns the filter on for a few seconds, and then after a few seconds the filter disappears. And what I should probably do is put it on some sort of timer. We can tweak and we can tune the settings. But yeah, I need to add a timeout on it so that multiple people don't accidentally do it at the same time. Let's just, like I've done with the others, put 5-minute cooldown on it so they don't get too heavily spammed. Probably just a 1-minute cooldown. It doesn't really matter, does it? And we can also change the duration of it in here a little bit more. Since we are dead and it's zombie mode, change the name to zombie, and let's just set it to like, so it's a little bit longer, and then once again it should work. Is it possible to add microphone mods too, for example, make you sound like Mrs. Doubtfire? Yes it is. Yes it is. I need to use a program called Voice Mod to do just that, but I can build all of that into the same redeems as well. So the same redeem could not only turn on the zombie face, but also apply a voice filter at the same time. I can do a whole bunch of clever shit with it if I want to actually be clever. I don't have Voice Mod installed, I don't think, at the moment. No. But Voice Mod is a thing that will also work. Is it called Voice Mod? I think it's called Voice Mod. Yeah. Should we just install Voice Mod? God, I have an account with Voice Mod already. The question is who is it? Who did I sign up? Let's just do it with Twitch. Doing this live is a crazy idea, but let's see how it happens, how it works. Yeah. Stop showing shit on screen. Yeah, sure, install it there, I don't care. Go. Now this might get a touch scar. Everything's dead. Everything's dead. You got Mike back, right? Mike is good. You got Mike back. Game sound and everything is busted. Let's... what it's going to have done is it's going to have fucked up with all of my audio profiles in Windows, isn't it? Oh god, that's going to have screwed everything. Okay, Okay, I've got no game. I have no game sound even. Never mind you guys. Why is Wi-Fi on for starters? Where's me audio settings? Output to there. Why is it not doing that? That's probably broken OBS. That's probably broken the game. Oh dear, should never have done this live. Should never have done this live. Now connect to your headphones. Yeah, sure. Yes, that's the microphone. Well done. No, that's the headphone. Whoa, okay. Sure. Yep, sure. Oh, okay. Sorry, boys and girls. I really should not have tried to test this and get this set up whilst also streaming. Use then the voice mod virtual audio device. Okay, sure. Go away. I don't want to sign up. I don't want to sign up. Yeah, I'll figure all of this out later. I'll figure most of this out later because I'm going to have to redo audio settings and OBS and everything. But okay, does it now mean I've completely guffed up this? Can I hear audio from anything anywhere? Has it completely broken? Aha, I hear things again. Do you guys have game sound? Yes, you've got game sound back. Where's Spotify gone on this huge great big list of open shit? Spotify's not even there. Let me turn voice mod off for the minute. I'll fix that later. So anything that can be done with excessive knowledge points, you can turn them in for Artisan's Metal, but that's the only option you've got. Not a great option. Okay. Okay, there should be music in the background as well. I think I fixed stuff. Okay. Think we fixed it. Lord have mercy. Sorry, I shouldn't have tried to do that while I'm live. That was ludicrous of me. Ghost play today. Yeah, a little bit. If I can turn that metal into gold, then it's not too bad. Well, yeah, true. It's not even a great conversion rate, though. It's like 1 knowledge point gets you like 10 Artisan's Metal or something. It's not even that fancy. Stupid flipping bottles. Okay, well, we're dead still. Still dead. All the deads. Yo, you a big boy. You're a big boy. Eat some foods. What we after? Ghoul fangs still. Some more ghoul fangs. We'll lurk outside for these, I reckon. Okay. We should probably get 3 arcane blasts off, I reckon. Oh, especially when they crit. Oh, also got to remember to use flipping reject. One the damn thing. Okay. Sorry, I'm playing like an absolute donkey at the moment. Whoa, you're level 28. I'm not sure I want to be taking on level 28s. I'm so out of practice on this mage. I can't even. I'm looking at my bars half the time because I can't even remember my keybinds. To think I actually leveled this thing via AoE leveling. Glad I'm not stepping straight back into that. It's weird how when your muscle memory goes, it's just gone. And you just have to straight up learn everything again. I'm not used to it. Luckily, I don't seem to have that problem with my hunter. I can play a hunter mostly with my eyes closed. Now we should put this on ourselves to begin with. Then we should pull. And then we should just go to town. All this because I need to hit level 26. That's literally all I'm doing this for. Really not being particularly mana efficient either at the moment. Which I need to figure out. Arcane never is, though. It's fun, though. It's fun trying to figure this stuff out. Even if I look a bit foolish doing it. Oh, I know what we were going to do today as well. I was going to do this the other day, and I kind of forgot, never got round to it. That, oh my god, I'm going to get squished on. The, what was it called? Deep Rock Galactic Survivor thing. I was going to give that a go. I've seen a few people playing that on stream over the last few days. I believe it was a lot of people were sponsored to play it, which is why it was all popped up at one go. But it does actually look quite cool. Dare I say that it kind of means that their ad money was well spent on the basis that I'm probably going to buy it and play it, even if it's just for the morning until Last Epoch comes out. We'll get to 26 and we'll do some professions instead. Let's stick to the brief. I kind of like it when there's almost too much to do. I would rather have too much to do than not enough. Hang on, let's just evocate. Why are we messing about? There's a good chance, actually, I could just, like, run through stockades almost solo, to be honest, but... let's not mess with success. This is working. Even if it's slow, it works. Why isn't that working? Oh, well, now I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't working. Okay, sure. This is what happens when I panic. It's going so... good thing this isn't hardcore, right? This is why me in hardcore is going to be a sticky situation. It might generate some amusing clips, but I'll tell you what. If we get past level 5 in classic in hardcore SSF, it's going to be a miracle. Absolute miracle. Oh, great. Okay. Got no mana again. How long? I just saw the timer. Time at this level, 22 hours, 52 minutes. Did I really play my mage for that long once hitting level 25? Maybe I did. How have I got no gear then? I didn't even go and get all the runes either. Oh, I slacked so hard on this character. Christmas got in the way, that's what it was. Christmas happened. Hello? Why are we not doing anything? Stunned. That's not good. Oh, more gooey spider legs. We don't need those anymore. We need ghoul fangs. Do I think I'll level this mage to 40? I'm not sure, you know. I should. The logical part of me thinks I should. My biggest concern is going to be that if I try and do it by questing, it's going to be incredibly slow. Oh, resisted, great. Why is this dude resisting everything? Scumbag. One option for 40 leveling could be wait until they give the XP buff again the last week before P3. Dare I say it, there's a strong chance that I will be spending a lot of that time doing exactly that. Especially on like alt level characters for sure. Because I tend to have the suspicion that the most I'm going to do with my alts is level them enough so that they have access to the professions. I can't see me doing much more with them. But I'm not sure. Saves many days of time if that XP buff will come. Oh, quite definitely. Switching back to a more traditional build for leveling would also be almost mandatory, honestly. Because this realistically is healer spec. So the argument here is I shouldn't die if I press my buttons correctly, but it's pretty slow single target leveling. Flipping out, these ghoul fangs don't exist, do they? These ghoul fangs don't exist. I've got to be careful, there's far too much around me at the moment. There's another ghoul fang, beautiful. This is the thing, right? You kind of forget that, oh, just quickly get a level. That's not really the classic way. And I knew, actually, that leveling this mage to 40 was going to be a pain, because I spent quite a bit of time, I think, after level 25, running around doing quests. Not too much, but enough to probably mean I should go get things like the sleeping bag. I should probably do some of the utility on this mage if I really want to level it. Don't you dare aggro, don't you dare aggro in the middle of my evocation. Oh, we can now. Leveling speed never bothers me. The only time it really bothers me is when I'm doing it for the reason of doing something else, if that makes sense. Like now, for example, the reason I'm doing it is because I need to be level 26 to continue with my professions. That's genuinely the only reason I'm doing it. And so it's a means to an end for me, which at that point I would just like to get it done. I can't say I'm overly enjoying the process of what we're doing right now, if that makes sense. But yeah, when I'm just leveling, I will make sure I'm enjoying the leveling experience and I don't zug. But I've done all of this. This is the thing, right? I've done all of this on my hunter. It's not that I'm doing it for the enjoyment in doing it. It's a fine line for me, that. It's oh, hang on, let's not go pulling something 3 levels ahead of me when I've got no mana. Right, we only need 2 more ghoul fangs though. It shouldn't be too bad. If I do respec, what does ZYGOR suggest? Arcane DPS 31-0, Arcane Healer 31-0, Fire or Frost. I say so. ZYGOR's kitted out for a few different builds. I wonder if Arcane... I mean, what did I choose? Arcane Focus 3 of 5, Arcane Subtlety. Yeah, I spec'd deep into... Yeah, I spec'd quite deep into the AoE side of things. 1 specialization, we should do some more 1. Okay. It's coming back to me. It's slowly coming back to me. Should probably have done that first. Damn, missed it. Jeez, are we waiting for spawns now? Not had to wait for spawns so far. What about you? You're good. No! Oh, flipping hell. Okay, they're starting to hyper spawn. See? Hunter's just coming in, it's just like tag everything. Tag everything, shit dies. Such easy mode on a hunter. In a way, it's kind of why I like playing my hunter. I'm not particularly often here for the challenge, per se. Oh, 1 more ghoul fang. Hardcore is going to be a different story, though. We are going to take it very slow and steady in hardcore. Especially if we actually get any reasonable levels under our belt. Last thing I want to do is die to something dumb. So we've got Hardcore comes out on the 29th, right? That seems like a weird day. Is that like a Thursday? What's the 29th? A Thursday, which means I probably won't actually get to start playing it until the Friday because it'll be a time zone thing. Okay. Just thinking how all this is going to fit together. That means we've got a week or a week to have a little bit of a play with Last Epoch, which is usually enough in an ARPG. It depends how much time I want to put into it, though. What's the goal for today's stream? Honestly, I just want to get my mage to 26, realistically. And that's mostly because I'm planning on playing with some tailoring. I want to continue leveling up my tailoring. That's kind of the main goal. Level up my tailoring a little bit. That will give me the opportunity, once we ding 26, to also level up enchanting. I might need to put a bit more time and effort and thought and gold into leveling up enchanting. But once tailoring is there, we can probably utilize some of this cheap materials to get some cheap enchanting mats and stuff as well. And even look at some shuffle potential or something as well. That's kind of that's the main goal. And then once this character is capped off with 2 more professions, I've got my paladin to level as well. My paladin is only like level 8, so ZYGOR will just lead the way for us on that one, I reckon, as well. In Wrath the Lich King, played Death Knight first, very slow killing. Then my prop paladin, very slow. Now that it's level 50 plus, I pay my hunter, pew pew, everything's dead. Yeah, it's so different. Yeah, Death Knight back in the day, like, could be very slow.
Good. You thinned out that pack quite a bit. And without those wolves,
think about the first 10 levels without a pet in hardcore as a hunter. The first 10 levels don't worry me too much. As long as you don't overpull. The problem will be is hyper spawns, I think, honestly. If you're doing it when the game mode like literally just goes live when it pops, there's the slight problem there that it could just be hyper spawn crazy, which will cause an issue. But hang on, turn in the Legend of Stalvan. We don't have this quest. Or do we? Travel to Moonbrook. Oh, we do. I lie. We can hand in stuff. We're still a little bit short, so we do need to kill some extra things before we're going to hit 25. 26, sorry. I think there's a few steps in this, though. Where would we go if we continued along the arcane route? Maximum mana by 2%. 5 stacks in that. Presumably that goes 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, I would guess. Maybe even stacks higher. Allows 10% of your mana regeneration to continue whilst casting. Yeah, everything mana. Mana, everything. Palm as well is also handy, I reckon. Next mage spell with a casting time less than 10 seconds become instant cast. I haven't even looked at mage phase 2 runes either. I'm wondering if there's any. Increase your spell damage and critical strike chance by 1. Okay, there's some options here. I honestly can't even remember how we do the AoE pulls either. Don't I just aggro a bunch of shit? Aggro a bunch of shit, freeze it, and then... Yeah, it was something like that. I can't even remember. Yeah, presumably it's just lots of arcane explosions. And we were using Living Flame on cooldown. Is Living Flame still as potent? Sort of. Where's the NPC? Oh no, hang on, click the box. I remember. Click the box, that's the one. Teleport to Stormwind? Sure. Ah, you sheeped me. God bless teleport. No, wrong portal. Am I the only... I can't be the only one that gets suckered by there being two portals in here, right? Every time I end up strolling through the wrong portal. Oh, look at you fancy pants on your flipping mount. One day. One day. Planning on making my first video. Any recommendations on video capture and edit software? I predominantly use OBS to capture footage. Although, if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can use, what's it called, Shadowplay, which is also very good, just as good, in some ways better. And if you're just starting off, I use DaVinci Resolve, which one is free, which is always very nice to have a free video editor, and is relatively straightforward.
Where is it ye would like to go, lass? For just a few coin, my griffins can get ye there faster.
Usually, if you're just starting out doing something, free is the best route. Resolve and Shadowcast. Yeah, that's pretty good combo, honestly. If you're doing like voiceover stuff, I don't know what your video is obviously going to be, but if you're doing voiceover stuff, if you want to be able to record gameplay and your microphone, in Shadowcast you can have it set up so that it records and it puts the audio on different tracks. That can make it really handy when you drag it into Resolve, so that you can sort of, you could mute, you still have the game sound, but you could mute your microphone, or you can change the levels of them and stuff as well. It means you can put some processing on the microphone if there's an echo or there's something you need to fix without it adjusting the game sound, which is kind of handy as well. If you're brand new, I'd recommend Clipchamp over Resolve. I've not used Clipchamp, but I believe it is equally free and probably a little bit of an easier GUI to use. It's a difficult one because, you know, what you know is what you often consider to be easy. And you consider it to be easy because you know it. Our Clipchamp isn't free, but it's included in Microsoft 365, so you probably have it for free. Ah, I see, okay. Assuming you pay for Microsoft 365. I don't. I use Google everything. Oh my god, look at all the quests we can hand in around here. Now, this technically doesn't claim it to be enough to ding 26, but there's a chance that we get runner-up or follow-up quests that will push us there. Let's see, shall we?
You need some crab cakes, do you? Well, I might be able to cook some up for you. I'll let you in on a little secret. Dusky crab cakes are really made from spider legs. I know it's a bit disgusting, but the cakes have a nice tangy flavor and make great snacks. Bring me gooey spider legs and I'll whip you up a few of them. I hear venom web spiders are a good source. They nest to the north, between the foothills and the river. Ah, yes, a nice clutch of legs you have there. Let me just get these seasoned with my secret spices, no looking, and get them to skittering on a skillet for a while.
We're going to be close if we hand everything in.
Crab cakes are my specialty, and I won't give out the recipe. Here's the recipe for a dish that's almost as good. And here we are, crab cakes a la gruel.
Splendid, adventurer. For your service to the people of Darkshire, you shall be rewarded. Adventurer, I'm getting reports of an undead infestation in the forest. If you're up to the job, journey to the Ravenhill graveyard and slay 15 of those vile skeletal fiends and 15 skeletal horrors. There are also reports of skeletons just south of Darkshire, in and around Tranquil Garden Cemetery. The undead must be driven from Duskwood.
Must be driven from Duskwood.
So the chap did spend some time in Moonbrook after all. It is rather odd the letter never got delivered. Nonetheless, I shall update the registry. Oh my. Must have missed this the first time. In the registry, right beneath the
close but no cigar.
Stalvin, there's another one listed, only partially
I guess we have more
out.
quests to hand
like
in, but we're not handing all of them in now.
Might want to check there, adventurer.
Very wise of you, adventurer. This totem of infliction will help to protect you against the evil which lurks throughout Azeroth and beyond. When you feel threatened, hold this totem and take comfort in its magical aura.
Transitions, text overlays, things like that were a little bit easier in Clipchamp than Resolve, annotations and marks up the like. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've not tested a huge amount. It's one of those that you find something that just works for you and you stick with it. I'm a creature of habit in that regard.
There is a poor, sad spirit, Blind Mary, who haunts an old farmhouse in the hills south of Darkshire. Here, take this spectral comb and ask Blind Mary to comb her hair. Then bring back the comb and I will glean from it the ghost hair I'll need to the thread. And take care, for dark things now lurk near that house.
Most superb. This will work perfectly. Many thanks. Now there is just one more item needed to complete this device. Cog's blueprint calls for a lens of some sort. The only lens I know of that would be large enough will be very difficult to acquire. There is an ogre by the name of Zarkful, who resides in the mound in southern Duskwood. If you can, bring to me his monocle, and I will use that as our lens.
But sometimes finding easy is hard work in itself. True. Big true. We didn't spend too long here then. We do need these skeleton fingers. I think we're coming back here in a second anyway. That's probably why. Remember back in the day, Sony Vegas Pro was the go-to editor. You'll still see a lot of like YouTubers using that because of that, right? Just simply by the fact that it's what they learned to use, and then it's often far too much like hard work to try something else out. I believe it's still probably very good. I mean, there's obviously Adobe Premiere as well, which is often considered very good, but also very expensive, which is in and of itself a problem. Now, of course, you can You can hop on your ship and sail out into the sea and find a copy, but you then are going to have issues with things like updates and that sort of stuff.
I can make a spool of ghost hair thread with this and have a few strands to spare. Here are some coins for those extra strands. Here is your thread, adventurer. It has 1,000 uses, from binding evil spirits to sewing life into inanimate objects.
Yeah, OBS is free, yeah. OBS is completely free. Just be careful when downloading OBS that you don't accidentally get like Streamlabs OBS or something. They're like skinned versions, customized versions of OBS. You just want OBS Studio. You want the baseline version of OBS, really. Mostly because it's well, obviously I use OBS predominantly for streaming. That's its #1 crucial feature, but it's also very, very handy for recording video. Plus, you can do an awful lot of fancy stuff in OBS nowadays if you really want to. You may have noticed that most of my videos is predominantly me just recording in OBS. As it cuts down a lot of the editing afterwards. Some people, when they make videos, for example, they record their gameplay, they record their camera separately, they record the audio separately, and then in editing, they build it all together. Which, if you're going for high production value and you want lots of funky transitions and that sort of stuff, is obviously the better way to do it. But I'm not necessarily going for sparkle with my videos. I'm often focusing more so on the content and information in the video, and so just a simple OBS setup with me, my camera, whatever, works fine. And then you could take that video and quite easily throw in a title and a few fades and a few transitions and stuff. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. It depends what you're doing, though. Depends heavily what you're doing. Be careful, there might be stealth enemies around here. Well, let's just get them out of the way then, if that's the case. Literally just looked up and went, "Where's your pet?" Yeah, it's easy for me to forget I don't have it sometimes. I've gone on flipping 2 mobs. Check for chest in that house. Will do. Not today. What's with a giant bonfire glow? Hello? What are we talking about? Confused. Bonfire glow? I've been to a Guy Fawkes night where the glow on the corpse was smaller than what you just had. Oh no, it's probably because I used Living Flame. It's probably because Living Flame was on it. It's a ground fire effect. It wasn't just the loot. the Season of Discovery mage ability. Is this gonna ding us? That's the question. It should do. 1 minute, according to this. See how much attention I'm paying to your gameplay. You're probably still paying closer attention than I am. We're mostly done now. Once we ding 26, we can level up off the professions and it'll be fine. This is only a level 20 quest. This isn't going to give us much experience at all, is it? Although we need less than 1,000 experience. Surely it'll give us at least 1,000 experience. Fan of the Dark Souls games? Not at all. No, cannot say I'm a fan of the Dark Souls at all.
Hey there. Aha. Thank you, adventurer.
Even
Those
like
really hit
Elden
the
Ring,
spot.
for
And
example.
here, please let
No.
me pay you for these.
No, not for me, unfortunately. To be truthful, I have never really given them that much time. But all said, it just doesn't appeal to me. They've announced the DLC for Elden Ring. It was always coming, right? There was no way that with the success that Elden Ring had that there wouldn't be something to go with it. Wasn't there some rumours of a mobile port or something, or mobile game for Elden Ring or something? I heard something through the grapevine. Why did I bother running all the way down here? I could have killed like one mob and I'd have got the XP.
Need help? That shadowy figure I saw was a witness to my family's death. There are questions I'd like to ask that man, if only I knew who he was. I must know who was that skulker in the shadows I saw the night my family was killed. Please, adventurer, you have shown your resourcefulness. Please find that shadowy figure. I must learn what secrets he holds. I do not have clues that you do not already know, but here, take the book you found at my farm. Perhaps some of the townsfolk can link this book with its owner.
Rune on the map, what's the add-on? Questy? I think that's a Questy thing. I think it's part of Questy. I don't believe it's ATT. Obviously, all the things is showing up in the tooltip, but I think what's putting it on the map in the first place, I believe, is Questy. Just like it's putting all of the, you know, all of the other icons on the map. Right, we'll hand this in and we'll pick up the Zombie Juice quest, but then we'll probably port back to Stormwind and continue on with tailoring, I reckon. That was the main focus I wanted to get done.
Hello. Delightful. This will do splendidly. Here, good adventurer, take this as payment for your honorable deed. I need a bottle of a certain liquor. Zombie juice.
Tailoring.
Tavern Keep Smiths at the Scarlet Raven Tavern in Darkshire should have some. And please hurry, adventurer. These nights get cold, and I need that drink to put fire in my veins again.
Oh, one thing I do like about being mage is getting the portals, though. Definitely a fan of portals.
Well met. Greetings,
New
mage.
quest on the mage
Shall I
trainer.
provide you with further insight into the world of magic?
Oh, we get Cone of Cold at level 26. We pick up Cone of Cold. We probably want Frostbolt at the very least. Frost Nova rank 2, why not? Ah, we'll pick up Cone of Cold. Do we have a keybind for Cone of Cold? Probably not. I'll figure that out in a minute. Frostbolt. Sorry, Frost Nova rank 2. Frostbolt rank 5. Oh, no, hang on. Hang on. Let's think about this for a second. Yeah, this is my main big hitting Frostbolt. And then this is my cheap Frostbolt. Because we're only really using Frostbolt for the slow. So there's no point spending 100 mana on it when we can spend 25 mana on it instead and still get the slow for 5 seconds instead of 7. Yeah. Is that a bot to your right? It looks pretty bot, doesn't it? Wearing nothing but an apprentice shirt. Not sure quite what's going on there.
Well met. As a mage, you are one of a select group that can conjure.
Oh, it's not till 40 we get the portals.
Very place. I can teach you if you are ready.
Oh, wrong side again. Every time. Right, train expert tailoring. We're moving up in the world. We're going to need some cloth and stuff, though. Up until this point, I've just been selling all of my cloth. Hopefully now we can just buy it all back when it's now, in theory, cheaper. Let's see how good of a job ZYGOR does telling us how to get tailoring up and running.
Good.
Expert tailoring. Boom. Solid start. Collect 801 silk cloth. Sheesh.
Light bless you.
801 silk cloth. $801 does sound like a lot. What are you trying to do with them, ZYGOR? Make 200 bolts. Save these, you'll need them later. Create bolts of silk cloth. Reach 145. Train Azure Silk Hood. Find threads, blue threads. Reach 160 by making Azure Silk Hoods. Silk headbands. Up to 170 by the looks of things with the silk headbands. Formal white shirts. Up to 175. Dare I say it's probably not that far off, actually. Even though it sounds a lot. I probably won't buy all 800. In fact, I definitely don't think I'll be buying all 800. That'll do. That'll do. Let's see how much that was. I mean, inventory alone is going to be my issue here.
What can I... Just browsing my wares, or is there something specific I can help you find today?
Raptor hides in the bin. You in the bin. Conjured crisp spider meat in the bin. Spider ichor in the bin. We'll keep the mana potion. Silk cloth, spongy moral in the bin. You go in the bin. Quest items, quest items, quest items. I don't know what that is. Pearl, we should sell the pearl. We should sell all of the pearls. Wow! I remember when iridescent pearls were like multiple gold. Now they're like 10 silver a piece. That's funny. Spider silk I think we need at some point. Although it's a leatherworking thing mostly. You can go in the bin. You can go in the bin because I don't care. So can you. You can go in the bin now. Night crawlers for fishing. These can go in the bin. Flesh-eating worm. These can go in the bin. Cloth we don't particularly need. Although it's the old school stuff. That'll do. Let's see how far this gets us. I'm not quite sure how much we bought there. It's a good start. It's a good start. We'll go with that. Bolts of silk cloth. Oh, we might even get skill ups for these. Check me out. Hey up, what's this? Got some enchanting tailoring stuff you can have. Oh, nice. Are you grouped with a rogue about to get stealthed from behind? About to get ninjaed. Let's hope not. Just phased me, so I'll mail them. I'm on layer 1. I don't know what that means. Phasing is, we were reading about this phasing yesterday. It's clearly a bit of a problem. Right, if I'm going to be mostly sat here crafting bolts of silk cloth, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break, boys and girls. Entertain yourselves for 2, and I'll be back in a minute. To stab people if they're in a different phase. True. Is the overlay part of OBS? Yeah, everything you see now is in some way, shape, or form part of OBS. But you do need to put it all together yourself, right? So like, I can move all the can I show this without it being too problematic? I think I can show this. So this is a bit of Inception, right? But this is what my OBS looks like behind the scenes. So I've you've got all of the different scenes I have. Now a lot of this I control off my Stream Deck, but like I can jump between different scenes at the press of a button. It hops between these, and in each and every stream you have all the different elements and all the sound monitoring and that sort of stuff as well. And I can you know, I can move things about. And then once I've got everything set up, it goes off to you guys, or it zips over to Twitch, and then you can see it. Yeah, OBS like allows you to do. This is the reason I say get the basic version of OBS rather than like a Streamlabs version, simply because it's super uber customizable. You can do fantastic things with it. But even if you just want to front load some of the, you know, the fact that you can do kind of, you know, put yourself in the video, put a title on it. You can do all of that sort of stuff and then just press record in OBS and say what you need to say. And then like you can front load the editing rather than the editing being something you do too heavily after. But the easiest thing is just play, practice. That's the only way you figure out this stuff. Just practice. Just have a play about with it and see what happens. The more you play with it, the more sense it will make. Azure Silk Hood. I have a feeling that then making these Azure Silk Hoods, then disenchanting them, is possibly two birds with one stone here, because then that might mean that I get the enchanting mats needed as well. Hardest thing is to just start. The best way when you start making YouTube videos is to assume that nobody's going to see it. Because that assumption, not to like nuke anybody's interest in this, but there's the reality is nobody sees your first handful of videos. Nobody will see them. And so it doesn't matter. Like just make them, upload them, and then forget about it and go do it again. The Mr. Beast theory on this is you should probably make 100 videos, and you should make each video better than the last one you made. And by the time you've done that 100 times, your channel will have probably started to grow, and you'll probably start to see some actual, you know, people will actually start watching it. Iterative approach is the only way with this. This is why very rarely do you see a brand new content creator that just turns up overnight. There's usually what's that phrase that people use? There's a decade of hard work goes into becoming an overnight success. And that is so true with content creation in general. There's almost always 3, 4, 5, 10 years of stuff behind the scenes that content creators have done before you ever even know they exist. And it's in that time and effort and process that's got people to a position where you've found them.
Good.
So yeah, at the beginning, just don't worry about it. Just focus on making stuff and putting it out there. You'll be your own worst critic anyway, so.
Be careful.
18 fine threads, 36 blue dyes.
Since the fall of Dalaran and the destruction of Quel'Thalas, wares of this sort
18
have been
fine
hard to come by.
threads.
But Luke and Cordell and some of our other tradesmen have
Wait,
been doing
what?
a
I only
fine
just-
job
I only bought the
filling our
threads.
orders with quality merchandise.
I didn't. What? I didn't buy the blue. I didn't buy the blue shit. 36 blue dyes. Well, you got to buy them in stacks of 20, right? Oh, they only stack to 10? Now make a bunch of Azure Silk Hoods, alright? Sure. Now let me see if I actually agree with ZYGOR here. Not that I'm going to heavily disagree with him, but let's just see if I actually do agree with him. So our options here realistically.
Both, I hope.
Pumba, my man, thank you very much for the bits. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for advice. Appreciate it a lot. Hey, no problem. No problem at all. By your 100th iteration, you'll be 100% better than your first video. Yeah. Yeah. As long as you have something that other people, as long as you have something to say that other people want to listen to, you'll be fine. Absolutely fine. So, silk cloth, fine thread, blue dye. Vendor mat, 2 silk. Claims to be somewhere in the region of about 50 silver to craft per one. Whereas the alternative would have been to continue to craft double-stitched woolen shoulders, even though they don't guarantee. The fact that they don't guarantee, though, is probably why it would choose not to do it, even though they are cheaper. An interesting thing would be to compare ZYGOR profession guides to WoW profession site. Which one feels better nowadays? It's a good question. The thing I always like about profession guides is there is often one right answer and only one right answer. Rarely does it actually change. Let's have a little looky real quick. Is that the window? Let's take a look at WoW Dash professions to do a comparison. Honestly, you'll probably find that they're borderline identical. Profession leveling, classic era, tailoring. So you'll probably... look, 804 silk cloth. It's probably absolutely identical because there is such thing as a right answer with this sort of stuff. Get your bolts of silk cloth, 804 silk cloth, make your Azure silk hoods, then make your silk headbands, then your formal white shirts, then go on to mage weave. Yeah, it's practically the same. Realistically, it's not far different. There is some things to be said about the fact that ZYGOR have made some slight changes to them for Season of Discovery, e.g., in this mode, you need to be this level before you can do something, because there are some slight tweaks and changes, which I would imagine, whilst it would, in theory, be very easy for WoW professions to come in and do it, they probably haven't. There seems to be a classic era and Wrath classic, and then Dragon, and then retail. they haven't swayed off into Season of Discovery specific stuff. But for leveling, you know, it's neither here nor there. As long as it's relatively correct. Right, let's make all of these then. In retail, I've done a lot of testing, but it's because you can usually go from 1 to 100 sort of thing in retail pretty fast. Every 5 points, I will stop though, just to kind of double check.
My efforts will not be wasted.
Silk vests are going to... you see, this doesn't actually show us what goes into making these. Can I do that with TSM? Can I tell TSM to show me the... Although TSM probably won't have the information until I've learnt it, will it? Tooltips, crafting. No, tooltip settings. Crafting. Crafting cost, detail, crafting cost, and mat cost. Yeah, it's not going to know them until I've learned the recipe.
Good. I can tell that my efforts will not be wasted.
Unlikely to want to waste my gold too much learning a bunch of things. Oh, they're only cheap, aren't they? Let's just do it.
Bless you.
Small silk packs, for example, here could be a positive alternative. That said, they are on the auction house substantially cheaper than what it costs to craft them, so you're unlikely to be profiting much whilst leveling this, but it's damage limitation more than anything else. 50 silver crafting cost against 36 gold when you sell it, so you're only losing 12 silver per bag. Yeah, I'm not gonna split hairs over the leveling of it too much. You could move up to the majority of the cost here is going to come from the 2 bolts, 4 bolts, 5 bolts. Lesser Wizard Robe is only 2 as well, but it's lesser, but it's then using Spider Silk as well, something else you're going to need to buy. Which adds another 10 silver on top. So why add another 10 silver on top when you don't have to? Okay. Let's get another 5 skill points. Should actually equip one of these, really. Oh, there's no stats on them. The only frustration with these, the lesser wizard robes may not necessarily be a bad shout to craft us an alternative if spider silk is cheap enough, just by proxy of the fact that we can then disenchant them. Although their vendor value is higher than what their disenchant value is, so that's probably equally not a thing. Alright.
Seems good. I can tell that my efforts will not be wasted.
Oh, we don't learn anything new till 160 anyway. Well, let's get to 160 then. How much do we get when we put these in the bin? 7 silver a piece back. No, that's not a lot, is it? That's not a lot. 2 more skill points. 3 more crafts to get 2 more skill points. Don't fail me, RN Jesus. $160 with 1 to spare. Look, genius.
Since the fall of Dalaran and the destruction of Quel'Thalas, wares of this sort have been hard to come by.
Let's put all of these in the
But
bin.
Luke and Cordell and some of our other tradesmen have been doing a fine job of filling our orders with quality merchandise. Have a good one.
Silk headband is the play, apparently. Silk headband or the white squashbuckler's shirt. Can't learn anything else until 170, via the trainer at least. We're going to make silk headbands, which are 3 bolts as opposed to 5 bolts, while still guaranteeing a skill point. Yeah, okay. Even some dynamic add-on guide using TSM data could be possible. It could compare crafting costs and maybe selling profits and suggest some good route. At least I've noticed sometimes it's clever to craft some expensive items to sell, which a guide doesn't suggest. Yeah, you often will find that guides are more tailored towards just ease of use, really. Just being simple, straightforward. Go to the auction house, buy this many mats. Predominantly keeping an upfront cost down is usually the route to go.
Since the fall of Dalaran and the destruction of Quel'Thalas, wares of this sort have been hard to come by. But Luke and Cordell and some of our other tradesmen have been doing a fine job of filling our orders with quality merchandise.
Right, this should get us to 170. But you're right, some sort of dynamic leveling guide is in theory possible. I like ZYGOR a lot, but one thing I do know is that the gold making side of it is pretty average. It's average, but it is comparable to what other offerings are out there, so it's kind of it's good enough, I guess. The green silk pack seems to be pretty cheap to get all the way to 225. Green silk pack. Where do we get the recipe for that from? Requires 175. That might be what it suggests me doing. Let's see, let's do a test. Let's see if when we get to 175 what it suggests. With warbands making gold account wide, I wonder what it'll do for the Brutosaur gold cap bids. I don't know what is going to actually happen with gold. It's theoried, rumoured, whatever word you want to use, that gold might just be an account-wide level currency, which I think it's about time that that's a thing. Having scraps of gold on every single character doesn't seem to make much sense, particularly in a world where we have warbands. But I'm also somewhat convinced warbands are going to be more restrictive than people are dreaming. For example, I do not think the warband bank is going to quite be what people expect. I have a suspicion that there will be a strong restriction on what can actually go in the warband bank. I think it will basically only be a storage space for like your catch-up gear, right? So when they do a range of world drop catch-up gear, it'll have the warband item tag on it. That sort of stuff will be able to go into your warband bank, and your player characters will be able, your other characters on your account will have access to that, so you don't have to then be mailing, if you're on a mage and you get plate catch-up gear dropping, you're not going to need to then mail it to the right characters. You can just throw it in the warband bank, and then whichever plate characters need it can get it from there, sort of thing. Yeah, glorified personal guild is kind of more the approach I think that they will take with it. I don't think it's going to be quite as flexible as people hope. Didn't they say that we can craft from the warband bank? They did, yeah. This does sort of indicate that we might be able to put at least some materials in there. So we'll see how that works out. But I do think there will be restrictions to what can go in and out there. I don't think it will be a totally free-to-use universal space for you to dump stuff in. Item duping coming for people with multiple accounts. The reason I think it will be restricted is mostly for technical reasons than anything else. This is why the guild banks are so slow. You ever noticed how putting stuff in and taking stuff out of guild banks is really slow? This is because a guild bank is considered a public space. And so what they have to be super careful with is when items go from personal inventory to public inventory, that there's no shenanigans that goes on. This is why it takes so goddamn long for you to put stuff in and take stuff out of guild banks, because there's way more checks and validations that go into making sure that things aren't being duplicated and shenanigans is happening. A warband bank will still probably act very similar to a public bank, public storage area. And so it will be subject to the same sort of restrictions that you don't want to have two accounts online. Imagine if you've got two accounts online and they both try and take the same item out of the warband bank. You don't want it to then accidentally make two copies of that thing. So yeah, it's going to be... It's going to probably be a lot of behind the scenes sort of rubbish with warbands, but that is what makes me think that at least the first iteration of it that we get will be restricted to what can go in and out of it.
Good.
But I guess we'll find out soon, hopefully, possibly, maybe. Let's hope we find out soon anyway. Bleaches and fine threads. Apologies, I've just burped straight into the microphone. That's disgusting of me. Funny, but disgusting. Are we making earthen vests here? If earth elemental is cheap enough, do we make these just to then disenchant them? What is it proclaiming we should make? The formal white shirts, and 5 of them. Because they're guaranteed skill ups and they only cost... Yeah, okay, so that is clearly still the best way of doing it. Admittedly, we put them straight in the bin after. But yeah, okay. In my opinion, every item that you can mail to your alt will also be able to go in the shared bank. And everything you can't still won't. Maybe yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice, yeah. We do know that they are implementing a new. You know how we have soulbound and bind on equip and bind on account. They are implementing a new label to gear, which is going to be warband, like warband items. which is probably what they will use for things like catch-up gear. And because they've felt the need to warband bound, because they felt the need to create that new tag for items, that sounds a lot to me like that's going to be some of the restrictions that will be in place with using it. It'll have to be a warband bound item, and so the item acts differently in the game.
Since the fall of Dalaran and the destruction of Quel'Thalas, wares of this sort have been hard to come by.
But like I
Luke
said,
and Cordell and
hopefully
some of our other
before too
tradesmen
long we'll
have been
find
doing
out.
A fine job of filling our orders with quality merchandise.
Oh, we didn't buy the fine thread. I need 5 fine thread.
Since the fall of Dalaran and the destruction of Quel'Thalas, wares of this sort
Yeah,
have been
you
hard to
said.
come by. But Luke and Cordell and some of our other tradesmen have been doing a fine job of filling our orders with quality merchandise.
I think it's just a rebrand of account bound. Maybe. Warband tag on items are purely because of cross-faction. Considering you can have both Horde and Alliance characters on the same account anymore, I don't think cross-faction really has much weight. So yeah, it could in theory just be a rebrand. That it practically does the same, they've just changed the name of it, maybe. Some blockchain tech would probably solve a lot of Blizzard's issues. It would also create an even bigger one, is that it would be so damn expensive in terms of storage and processing power. Yeah. We spent some time sort of thinking about this, how the blockchain technology could work. I mean, there was a period, right? It seems to have died down a little bit now as it got seemingly too much negative press. But it seems to me like the gaming industry,
I can tell that my efforts will not be wasted.
for a while at least, wanted to start using blockchain tech more. Obviously, that was at the period in time where NFTs were being thrown about left, right, and center, and cryptocurrency was doing one of its biannual spikes. The gaming industry seems to have left it alone as of recently, but it wouldn't surprise me if they go down that some sort of route at some point. It's a solution looking for a problem. But I do think there is, because it could be utilized in a way to like make limited quantities of items. Limited quantities of in-game digital items, which used in the right way would be cool. Used in the wrong way would presumably allow Blizzard to make lots of money. If they put dare I say it, I don't want this to happen, but dare I say it, that they put like a store mount in the store and they make it so there can only be 2,000 of them. They can be freely traded between players, but there can only be 2,000 of them, and that's controlled entirely by Blizzard, that there's only 2,000 of them. You could have like a 1 of 2,000 item or piece of transmog or a mount or something like that. They could in theory already do things like that, but blockchain technology would be a good technology to use to sort of manage that. Because the game's on 100% always online anyway, and on your local client, you don't really store that much anyway. But that's not the approach I particularly would want them to go with it. But it's an example of where they could. At this point, we just train everything. We're going to want every recipe, so let's just train everything.
Go with honor, friends.
It's at this point, it's telling me to make a boatload of mage weave, or buy a boatload of mage weave cloth. Now, the interesting thing for me here is that we still have bolts of silk cloth left over. Are we just making mage weave now? Because making mage... Yeah, okay, this is what the reason is, right? We're making mage weave cloth now because we can get skill points from making the bolts. We will probably then go back to using silk, I reckon. Create 100 bolts of mage weave. We will use these later. That will get us to 185 in skill. Then, yeah, we go back to using, we go back to using more silk. We've moved on to mage weave just purely because we can get some skill points off it. And it's something you're going to be pressing the button a bunch anyway. Crimson silk vest will then be the thing that we actually end up making. Okay, so we do at this point need some mage weave. Is it 5 mage weave per bolt? Is that really how much it is? Mage weave's probably still expensive, isn't it? Although it should be less expensive now, maybe. Right, don't be too expensive, please, mage weave. Okay, it's expensive. Sure. Okay, let's see how far that gets us. Flipping out, we burnt through most of our gold on that, didn't we? Hopefully we can actually make something now that we'll be able to disenchant. We've predominantly been making white stuff, so we're not disenchanting it.
Welcome to my inn, weary traveler.
My hope was we'd get some enchanting mats out of this at the very least, but might not be the case. These formal white shirts can go in the bin and all.
Light blessing.
Right, that'll have to do as on mage weave. If it's not enough, it's not enough. We're going to need more silk in a minute anyway. This leads me to believe oh, hang on. We were meant to look at this. What's the recipe cost of that green silk bag or something? Was that maybe what it's telling us to do? Let's have a look. Crimson silk vest. Oh, reach level 35. Oh, well, we can't train artisan stuff yet anyway. Crimson silk things up to 215. We're sticking heavily with silk by the looks of things. Orange mage weave, bolts of mage weave. Reach 220 by making orange mage weave shirts. We don't actually use that much mage weave by the looks of things. At least not yet. Yeah. So maybe we just do what it tells us. We'll do what it tells us. Yeah, 40 is the level cap currently. It'll probably be 40 for a month or two. And then it's going to go up to 50, and then eventually up to 60. They're phasing it. Right, let's make a bunch of this. Probably make bolts, hopefully, until this greys out, I'd guess. Milking it more like the phasing is kind of the point of Season of Discovery. It's one of the things that makes it different from just regular Classic anyway. Is this going to go... Does this grey out at 185? I mean, I've bought the Mage Weave now. I might as well use it. $184. Still $184. Can I buy a skill point, please, Blizzard? Skill point, anyone? Hey, 185. There we go. We're going to make the Mage Weave anyway. Is there ever going to be a scenario where we're not... No, let's just make it anyway. We're here. Back to Crimson Silk Vests, though. The question I have is how much of my gold do I actually want to spend on leveling this up right now? Because I'm going to get stuck in a weird situation where I have just like literally no gold. And I'm not going to have any gold to actually make anything with any of the professions. Yeah, maybe I should try not spending much more than we already have. Let's see how far we can get with what we've got. Alright, I'm bored of making this now.
Good. I can tell that my efforts will not be wasted.
Green silken shoulders. Hey, these are good shoulders, actually. Crimson silk vest. And then the long silken robe. Long silken cloak. Increases damage and healing done by magical spells and effects by up to 7. Plus 5 intellect. Probably make one of those for myself when we get there. So now ZYGOR is claiming that we should be making crimson silk vests. Earthen vest. Disenchantable. Vendors. But uses 3 bolts. And whatever an elemental earth costs. Nothing. Crimson silk belt. These are going to use iron buckles, dyes and stuff, but require 4. These also require 4. Might be a bit more valuable though. Might be some value in crafting a couple of these just to sell them. Elemental water's 13 gold apiece. Crimson silk vest is what it claims though. Oh, because it only uses 4 bolts. Guarantees skill. Doesn't use anything extra. But then you're putting them all straight in the bin. You put them in the bin for 20 silver apiece. Yeah, there's not so much of anything that I'm over excited about crafting to sell right now, profit-wise anyway. TSM doesn't seem to think there's much profit on any of this. A little bit, skinny amount of profit. I need to figure out actually how TSM is calculating the cost of these. Crafting cost of a bolt of silk cloth, it considers 7 silver, and it's getting that value by taking the cost of 4 pieces of silk, which is smart. The problem I have with leatherworking is it tries to do conversion on conversion on conversion, and I'm not taking 200 light leather to make 1 piece of thick leather, just because it mathematically makes sense. Okay, so there's a couple of things here we can actually... Spider silk boots, for example. Are these still... Costs a little under a gold to make them. There's a few listed for 1 gold 50 silver profit in those. The interesting thing is now is all the small stuff, all the small old stuff is showing as profitable because the only people who are crafting it are also only posting it at a profitable price point. Nobody's crafting it just because. People are past that stage now. Okay. As many of these as I can make then, which is not many because I'm out of silk. Are we genuinely out of silk? Can I buy some more silk without it bankrupting me? I was hoping we'd get a little bit further with this, actually. I was hoping we'd get a touch further, but we only had a little bit of gold to throw at it, so... At least I know where I kind of stand with it now, though. Yeah, professions are... I kind of wish... I wish that there would be some progression system like vanilla for the professions in any expansion ever. What's the difference between my E and my F keybinds? There isn't. I have no idea why I've got it twice. Yeah, I don't know why it's there twice. There is absolutely no... It's not like I've got one macroed or anything to do anything fancy. It's just for some reason it's on my bar twice. Okay, that's all the silk I'm willing to buy. Is there any... Somebody was saying about recipe tailoring, usable. Green silk pack. Four bolts, 3 heavy leather, fine thread, green dye. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, well, it's guaranteed skill points. Comparing it to what TSM claims we should be crafting now, which is crimson silk vests. Same amount of bolts. Obviously, the green silk pack is taking 3 heavy leather on top. But our green silk pack is likely to be sellable in some way, shape or form. vendors for 30 silver as opposed to vendoring for 20 silver. Can you get 3 pieces of heavy leather for less than... Yeah, that is kind of technically a better way to go. And of course there's the theory that you can then actually try and sell the green silk bags as well, maybe. There's not much in it. It's not profitable, per se. Are these both the same size? 10 slot, 10 slot. Silk bags are going for 36 a piece. These ones go for 61 just because they're green. Yeah, yeah, I don't think it makes much difference, really. It just means I've got to buy more materials. I'll stick with the crimson vests, I think. Not until I make some more silk bolts, though. Let's craft all of these up. Right, what I probably am going to need to do then is do a little bit more research into which specific items are actually in demand for tailoring and for leatherworking now, to find out where I should make sure I've always got something crafted and selling. Check some BIS lists, I think. Check some BIS lists, see what cloth wearers are wearing, see what cloth wearers want. If there's any recipes that we actually need. That might be the problem on my tailor, actually. By not actually leveling it up, I might have issues going and getting some of the recipes that I might need. Although if there's a recipe we can get, it also probably means it's a recipe that can be sold. It's not like there's any bind-on pickup recipe stuff, I don't think. Until obviously you look at like the raid stuff. I might be getting ahead of myself though. We should probably have the damn thing leveled before we worry about that. Enchanted Mage Weave pouch for sure if it's available. 14 slot bag. Yeah, what is the slot limit? What are we up to slot limit wise now in phase 2? We should obviously, journeyman bags were like all the rage, phase 1. Can we get 16 slot bags? I don't even know if you can. I remember in classic, bags didn't get that big at the best of times. What do we need to make these? ZYGOR did tell me, I'm just ignoring it. Fine threads and red dyes. Fine threads and red dyes.
How are you? I sell only the finest arcane gear, made by the crafters and mages here in the city of Stormwind.
Oh, hang on. I think that's right. I think that's the right number. How many of these are we meant to make? Enough to get us up to 205. Okay, we're not going to get to 205 with what we got. We're actually short on silk still. Wow, crafting times for individual items. Everything in Classic is so slow. Sometimes I don't mind it, but there are some things like this where you've queued up a bunch of things to craft and you're just like, oh my god. $225 enchanted Mageweave pouch. That's clearly got to be. You've got to be able to get that, surely. We can hit 225. So that's probably got to be the good one, right? Enchanted Mageweave pouch. Recipe. Can be purchased. 16 slot bag. 4 bolts of Mageweave, 4 vision dust, heavy silken thread. Crafted 16 slot bag. That's probably where the cash money is right now, I would guess. It's a 16 slot bag. Anything else we're not going to be able to craft yet. Because the enchanted rune cloth bag is 275, feln cloth bags are 285, and then a regular Mageweave bag is 225 as well. So the enchanted Mageweave pouch is probably where your money's at in this phase. Red Mageweave bag requires 235. We can't get there. 260. 260 for a rune cloth bag. So that'll be the next phase. So yeah, enchanted Mageweave pouch is probably a 16 slot bag. It's probably as big as you get right now. Where did we end up? We ended up 5, 6, 7, 8 points short.
Since the fall of Dalaran and the destruction of Quel'Thalas, wares of this sort have been hard to come by. But Luke and Cordell and some of our other tradesmen have been doing a fine job of filling our orders with quality merchandise. See you later.
Alright, maybe some more silk. Maybe some more silk. Can somebody please post some silk nice and cheap? Stream of benefits incoming. Oh, it's an enchanted bag though, isn't it? Yeah, of course. It's only for enchanting mats. Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice that. So it's probably Mageweave bags, actually. Yeah, you're right. Oh, regular Mageweave bags are still only 12 slot bags. Okay, it's still going to be world drop bags then, I would imagine, that are the best ones to get. That's a shame. If we go shopping. Troll hide bag, 14 slot bag, Mageweave bag. So yeah, in a weird way, it still feels like. Hang on, browse, advanced item search, container bag. Let's do it this way. Traveler's backpack, 16 slot world drop. Sheesh, 150 gold apiece. Journeyman's 14 slots. Dark Moon box, which is of course unique. Troll hides at 14. Large knapsacks at 12. These are probably the best value for money. 12 slot knapsacks, 3 gold apiece. I've even sold a couple at 3 gold apiece. They're probably the best. Knapsacks, lunch boxes, something around there. It's probably your best value for money. Your Mage Weave bags are going to sit at a similar sort of price point. Journeyman, you're looking at 20, 30 gold a piece for these, and then stupid money for Traveller's backpacks. Blackwood nutsack. Yeah. TSM looks more clean for Classic. Than anything default, yeah, definitely. Oh, who's yoinked all of the silk? Who's yoinked all of the silk? Here's me trying to get some cheap silk cloth on the go. Flip it now. There's another 100 silk. I don't think I really want any more than that. If I can get away with it, I'd rather start using that Mage Weave. Now, if I had just properly followed ZYGOR, we wouldn't have this issue. If I'd just bought the 800 silk in the first place, but I was trying to cheap out. So it's kind of my own fault. What time is it? Oh, okay. It's that time of the day. I'm actually a little surprised he didn't just put an exclamation mark in front of the big ZYGOR text there. Well, it moves. That's the thing, right? It moves. And people probably wouldn't notice it. Hangry time? No, not hangry. Still nice and comfortably mused. Oh. Ooh. Enchant cloak. Yoink. Cheers, my man. Appreciate. Thank you, Cassidy. Also known as Mikey. Where's Gumdrops? Is it lunchtime? Courtesy of the solid chests. Nice. Well, that would be a good filter. I just thought that would be a really good filter, wouldn't it? Isn't there an Incredible Hulk filter? There's one I do quite like, right? There's one I like, which is like, which I might name this one. This one's not active yet. This filter's not active. But for when Ranthius comes out, this filter works for Ranthius quite well. But an Incredible Hulk one would be cool. Hulk. See if there's any good Hulk variations. Now there's going to be lots of dum-dum ones that will turn you green. Turn everything green. Just straight up Hulk mask. That also works, I suppose. Some of them are a bit broken. Wow, what fantastic teeth I've got. They're really not that fantastic. I need like a prop. Oh, that's a Hulk smash. Hulk smash. Oh, it doesn't do the arms. Doesn't do the arms. Hey, that's a happy honk. Cheese. Yep, green again. Hi, how are you? Oh my god. That one makes... Okay, that one's broken. Yep, green again. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a fantastic honk one, unfortunately. Not one that works, anyway. Yeah, these don't seem to work very well. Lots that just turn you green. The Funko Pop one was almost the best. Oh, no, not that one. Where'd it go? Ah, he. Okay, I like the Happy Honk one. The Happy Honk one works. The rest of them were average. British and Fantastic Teeth name a better duo. Doesn't happen. Oh, this is the wrong honk. This is the wrong honk. This is Hulk Hogan. Gotta make some gold, brother. Hulk smash. This isn't just OBS, or in fact, it's not OBS or NVIDIA. This is a multitude of lots of software. Do you think I could pull off the white handlebars? Me and facial hair don't really go. Most of these are just turning me green. Hi! Oh, it doesn't animate the arms either. Damn. Yeah, most of them just turn me green. That's really green. Hulk skin color change, that's all these do. Yeah, there's no good Hulk ones, really. Any goblin filters? No, I tried to look for goblin filters. There wasn't any. Not any good ones. Not really. Not really. 70s. I don't even know what that is. Oh my god, what have I come into? Oh, I'm playing with toys. Why have I got a third eye on my forehead? Now, if it painted me green... Ah! That's kind of sketchy weird. It's kind of the closest goblin-y one. Yeah, there's not many great goblin ones, unfortunately. If anybody else has got any other Cheeto or What's It one I've seen somewhere. No, there doesn't seem to be any Cheeto ones particularly. I'm a spaceman though. The spaceman one's pretty cool. For when we go, for if we play Starfield or something, off into space. It's actually quite cool. It's got nothing to do with Cheetos. Yeah, no Cheeto ones. No Cheeto ones. Preparing for space exploration. Exactly. Yes. Most definitely. What is it I'm using? This is a very elaborate setup of technologies, but predominantly it's using a piece of software that Snapchat used to make, but they don't make anymore. You kind of have to hack it to make it work, called Snap Camera. One of my favourite ones that I haven't properly implemented yet is the cow. I kind of quite like the cow. I'm a fan of the cow. The cow's good. I've got minion goggles as well. This has actually got eye tracking, look. If I blink, if I look in different directions. Cow for some Tauren leveling. Yeah, we could do some moo leveling. Moo. Moo. Find a squirrel? Oh, that's a good call. Let's see if we can find a squirrel. That's very on theme, isn't it? Squirrel got 2 hours in it. I'm going to assume a squirrel has 2 hours in it. What have we got then? No, that's just a picture of a squirrel. That has squished my face. Okay. It's just put a flying squirrel on my face. There's lots of D's nuts themes here. That's kind... Okay. That doesn't work particularly well with the green screen tech as well, but that's definitely me as a squirrel. Let me see if I can find a better one that works. Squirrel eating nuts. Hi, this is a squirrel. Yeah, most of these don't work very well. That's not anything. What? I'm a squirrel playing a guitar. Okay, that one's quite funny. A squirrel knitting. There's not any good squirrel ones. That's a shame, you know. Where was it? There was this one. That's probably the closest squirrel one. It doesn't work particularly well, though. It doesn't work with my green screen. I'd have to turn the green screen off for that. There's some amazingly low effort filters in there. Yeah, see, this is the problem, that most of it is actual trash. There's a goldfish. Goldfish that doesn't work. Yeah, most of these are dumb. Blob, 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 blob. No. Not that kind of goldfish. No. Try Warcraft ones. There's like literally nothing. It's not even particularly Warcraft themed, is it? Don't know what that's even meant to be. This one's quite cool because this one comes with a slider. Look, so you got baby Mantheus. You got baby Mantheus, or you got granddad Mantheus. Young or old? Okay, that's very scary. That's actually quite scary. I mean, that might have to be a channel. That might have to be a channel award one. That one's going on the favourites list. That's going actually on the favourites list. Any that I put on the favourites list right now, I will automate and make them channel point thingies at some point. I just need to find good ones. Crying face. Quinn uses this one a lot. If you watch Quinn69, you'll see he uses the crying face one. Every ding, change it a little bit older. What about a ghost? Yeah, we were looking for like for when I die in games. These ones seem not to work. What in the world is going on? Most of these don't work. Oh, for Halloween. We've got Halloween sorted. It's got to wait till Halloween now. Arr, I be a pirate. That's actually just gross. Oh, but that's a ghost. There's your ghost one. Yep, that's a ghost. That's a favourite, is it? Are we saying that that's a favourite? Sure. That one can go on the favourites list. Let's check there's no better ghost ones. Ghostbusters. What? I'm a ghost jellyfish. Don't know how that works. Oh, I wish this one would show up on stream. This one doesn't show up on stream because of my green screen, but this one would be really cool. I'm going to show you this one. This one has like a skull look, flaming skull. Ghost Rider. Ah. That's kind of quite cool. Shame it doesn't show up with my green screen. Oh, you want Thug Life one? That's a good shout. Papa Ghost. No, I definitely think we found the best ghost one. Sometimes simple is best. Oh, actually. Oh, I don't know. Is this one better? Is this a better ghost? It doesn't track my hands, unfortunately. But this is kind of... That's a better ghost, isn't it? I prefer that one. Yeah, I'm thinking this is the better ghost. Reminding me of Zan's potato filter. Yeah, it's probably not too different. I think his potato filter is something similar. Oh, that's a better ghost, though. Are we saying... okay, let's check out the ghost ones. There's that, or there was this one. What do we prefer? Oh, yeah, definitely the second one. This just looks like a static image. The other one's got some wiggle about it. This one's got some wiggle about it. This is proper ghost form. We like that one. Okay. So when I die in games, now you can use ghost. Ooh, spooky, spooky. It's got too much wiggle, this one. Too much wiggle. I am undead. I am dead. Okay, right. We've done ghost ones. We've done ghost ones. Or scream mask, though, might not be a terrible... Oh, no, that doesn't work. Whoa, that one's quite cool, though. That one's quite cool. That's got some value to it. It doesn't move much, though. That's the problem. It doesn't really track me. It's a proper Ghost Rider one, though. Is there a pirate one? We need some good pirate ones, considering 10.2.6 is on the horizon. I don't know why we're a green pirate. Bit of Davy Jones on the go, but is there some good pirate ones? Let's plan ahead, pirate. You be a pirate. Let's have a look. Well, that's pretty pirate. There's no doubt that's pretty pirate. I wish it didn't say pirate in reverse in the middle of my screen though. Okay, we've got to find the best pirate one now. Jack Sparrow. Simple eye patch. Solid pirate. No. Why has it got a silly thing in the middle of it? Oh, it's looking for a cat or a dog. You be a pirate. That's not too... That's actually not too bad. Apart from the hat doesn't show up properly. I could have fun with this all day. I genuinely could. I like the moustache. I could literally play with this all day. A lot of them are backgrounds, though. This is the thing, because I delete the background. Oh, I got a parrot on my shoulder. It's not quite a squirrel on my shoulder, but it's a parrot. I kind of quite like that one. I think one of the first pirate ones we found has been one of the best so far. Most of these are pretty trashed here. Yo! That's pirate themed. That's pirate themed for sure. Do cosplays like Crunchy Bear? Yeah, I've heard she does the occasional cosplay. I'm more inclined to do virtual cosplays than anything else. Okay, are we saying this is the best pirate one so far? Do 10.2.6 as a pirate? Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And why bother waste... Got Polly on my shoulder. Why bother wasting money on real things when you can just have it simulated on your face? Oh, that's quite cool. That's quite cool. I'm a fan of this one. I'm not sure what's going on with the blue thing, though. That's the only problem. Not sure what's going on there. They look like cheap costumes from Amazon. They do. They do. They look worse than cheap costumes from Amazon. Oh! Oh! Oh, I think that's the one. Oh, that's actually legit. That could be the one, you know. It's the Samadan look. What do we think? It's the Samadan look. The Samadan pirate. You need the voice. Well, luckily, I've also just installed some software to hopefully help with the voice as well. There's a separate piece of software called Voice Mod, where I suspect we will be able to do some be a pirate kind of, because I ain't doing that voice all day myself. That's definitely going on the favourite. The Samadan Pirate is going on the favourites list. Unless there just happens to be something that's even better. Unless there happens to be something that's even better than the Samadan Pirate. But I'm not thinking we're going to beat that one. I don't think we're going to beat that at all. Now we're getting into the trash tier ones. I have no idea what's going on here. You need to grow a beard, it suits you. Well, tell that to my genetics. Is that the same Samadan Pirate one? It's close, isn't it? What's the difference? They're like practically the same. Somebody's just copied it. There's clearly somebody who's made that one pirate one and everybody's just yoinked it. Okay. The rest seem to be... Okay. It's not animated, but that's amused me for some reason. I've got my gold and my gems though, mind. Alright, well we found our pirate one. And the rest of them are all trash. Oh, it seems to have frozen. Okay. Okay. Yeah, if I try and grow my beard for any longer than about 3 days, it looks just like somebody's sat on my face. It's not good. It's not good. Okay, we've got quite the favourites list now. We've got quite the favourites list. Should we do a rundown of what we've got on the favourites list so far? Some of these are active now. Some of these are work in progress. Some of these will be live soon. We have... Because everybody has to be a fabulous cowgirl, right? This is our fabulous cowgirl hat. When things get a little bit spicy, we got the horny devil. Just this one. I don't know why. This is so simple. It's so simple, but it amuses me greatly. Very much amuses me. We have the crab for when we play Crab Rave. Also kind of pirate themed. You can't shake it off. It's stuck. It's not coming off. For when Ranthius comes out. For when the world is against us. When we're complaining about work orders. Ranthius can come out. This next one is the destiny of any WoW streamer. Any WoW streamer has this destiny. This is the result of if you stream World of Warcraft. It will happen. One of my personal favourites for when we were on the Tauren. It's the same picture. Oh, you asshole. For when we're leveling Tauren, standard sellout mode. I just need it to say Twitch Prime. That's what it really needs to say. The sellout cap it needs to say Twitch Prime. This one's actually really well animated, you know. Really well. It mirrors the Twitch logo, though. Yeah, that's unfortunately because my stream is mirrored. There's just straight up augmented cartoon style. I look kind of weird in cartoon form, I'm not gonna lie. I look kind of odd in cartoon form. This is me on The Sims, apparently. We saw crying earlier for when things don't go my way. When nobody hits that Prime button. When we get no Twitch Primes, then we sad. Sad Manthis comes out, no Twitch Primes. You were saying about growing a beard. We could go the whole hog. We could go the touchpad warrior approach. We could go the whole hog. I don't know why it's all a funky color, but like, it's a stylish one. The argument between Team Cat versus Team Dog can be resolved with look, does his tail wiggle? Oh, he fell off. He fell off. Straight out the spa. We're looking beautiful. Spa day. Oh, the fact I've got lipstick on is weird in this one. Looking fabulous. We have some winter vibes because, of course, it's cold in Finland at all time. So it's snowing and we've got our hats on. One we found earlier is the zombie. Also useful for when I die in video games, which is frequently, all the time, consistently. We have this one, which is actually really quite scary. I kind of can't get over how weird this one is. It makes me uneasy. It actually makes me feel queasy. And of course, then we are finishing off with the Samadan Pirate. The Samadan Pirate, I think, is actually really quite cool. So, boys and girls, what I will do is, over the next few days, I will make those channel point redeems. So, as and when you wish to turn me into something stupid, you can do it at your leisure. It is gone. It is gone. So I finally saw that Palworld is on Game Pass. I had to use the kill me button just to get out of a dungeon. Yeah, it was on Game Pass since day one. It's been on Game Pass since day one. But yes, I will figure out exactly what I need to do to get all of those as channel point redeems. So you guys can have a play with those, and of course, if there's anything, we can find some themed ones from time to time as well. I can't strictly guarantee I will have them activated for every stream because it uses quite a lot of system resources to have this all running in the background. But if I can figure that out as well, we can make it a permanent thing. Record sometimes live YouTube videos. It might be funny moments when somebody spends their points. Well, yeah, this does mean that people. I mean, let's be honest. That's kind of the reason why people play around with these things a lot, isn't it? Is to play with the streamer per se. I am fond of the occasional jump scare. Occasionally, so, as some people will be aware of. Nothing beats a good jump scare when it's on somebody else, of course. But, boys and girls, I'm going to leave it there a little bit for now. We'll be playing some Last Epoch this evening. I believe the servers don't go live until, for me, what is 7 p.m. So I suspect that I will be online roughly that sort of time-ish. It's coming up to 3 p.m. now. So I'll go get some food, take the dogs out for a walk, chill out for a bit, and then we'll play some Last Epoch this evening. And, of course, if anybody else is interested in playing along with, we can all have a smash through, find some loot, grind some mobs, kill some stuff. It should be a blast. I've clearly been AFK for 20 minutes, apparently. Have yourselves a good afternoon, boys and girls, a good evening or good morning, wherever you may be, of course. And I will catch you all later. Does it have a campaign? Good question. Absolutely no idea. I should probably check to see if there's Twitch drops or anything for it. I don't know. I would be surprised if it doesn't, though. It seems kind of smart, as if they should have done something. I'll look into it. I'll let people know on the Discord when we go live later. Have a good one, boys and girls. Catch you in a bit. Peace.